back in the fall of 2017, Portland Hotel Society decided, Jonathan in particular, within this space, when we're not running as an overdose prevention site, will be an OPS lab. So the idea of, great, we've got a lab, we have a space in order which things can happen in experiment. And so I said, well, what if we developed a curriculum to run it in this space that's peer-informed and peer-driven, and the same courses that we would be teaching to nurses. Probably 80% of the content in each of the courses is generated by peer feedback and peer participation. The steps are all the same as what we would teach nurses or doctors. However, the real hands-on skill practice is where peer workers, their response really shines, and their ability and skills are really be able to see that sort of learned inherent hands-on skills of years and years of practice of responding and hours of doing overdose prevention work. We've also similarly seen a need for this type of education in other communities, so that we're decentralizing the knowledge of Vancouver as the gatekeeper to everything overdose prevention. And in fact, we have small communities like Powell River where we've been scaling the street degree in overdose prevention to teach that specific context. So now you have rural, remote, difficult to access populations, and we adjust all that content based on the peer needs there and the peer feedback there. And we've really been dismantling the hierarchy of education, turning things on its head and saying, great, if we have frontline workers who are learning through experience and trial and error and changes in drug strength, and changes in overdose presentation, then we're really learning from them and just writing all of this into a curriculum so that they can help teach to each other.
The thing about the Downtown Eastside, and in fact the street degree has contributed significantly to this, is that you have a much better chance of surviving an overdose right here in this community than you do anywhere else in North America. And that's real. That's supported by actual data. The mortality rates for overdose response, yes, we get a lot of calls for overdoses, but people survive them. We've saved over 2,800 lives at these two sites with these peers who have been trained in the street degree. They're saving those lives, and they're using their own knowledge paired with that more traditional medical knowledge to keep people alive. The other thing, which is a data point that we can't collect, but we know to be true, is because when people visit our sites, they see people that they know from the community who approach them without judgment, without stigma, that people come to these sites and they use less because people recognize them. They go, hey, how are you doing today? How's your sister? How's your dog? Here's a glass of water. Many of the people that work here started out as service users here. They came to inject safely, but then they saw these people, they saw that these people were getting amazing trainings in CPR and all these cool things, and then they asked questions. Well, what is that person doing? They used to be a drug dealer and now they're working here. How do I get involved? How do I become part of this? And many of them have, and many of them have become powerful parts of this organization and this work. And we are learning to strip out the clinical stigmatizing medical language, right, in the courses we teach, but also in how we work with the service users here. It's really informed how we run the entire site, right? To really look at it from that stigma point of view and go, what am I doing right now that's an assumption from a place of privilege that I can get rid of, a fear, right? But as we move into the third, depending on how you measure it, third or fourth year of this crisis, I think the thing that is changed on the ground is that is exhaustion, and that this is becoming the new normal, and we can't let that happen.